Good morning, fellas. Today we're going to be talking about trees. In my last video, somebody commented that it would be a really good idea if instead of trying to rush around and get to the guns, if you use trees as a cover line to get to the guns, therefore even further minimizing casualties. I thought this was a great idea, and I very strongly agree with this person, so I decided to make a video about it. If you have video ideas for me, please tell me, because I always love getting video ideas from you guys. And I'm a very small creator, so I'm probably going to quickly make a video based off of your comment. Let's get into this replay. So we're using the exact same armies as in our last video, which I heavily recommend you watch. It's called Rushing the Guns. Go give my page a subscribe and watch a couple of my videos. So what we have is a couple of hobgoblin cutthroats, some hobgoblin archers, and some wolf riders against 4 units of Empire swordsmen and a set of Hellblaster volley guns. The swordsmen are a very, very weak part of this army, but this balance of power bar is about equal because of these Hellblaster volley guns. If we're able to destroy, annihilate, or just minimize as much damage as possible from these Hellblaster volley guns, then we will be able to have a very successful victory. I'm going to have been doing 3 battles. The first 2 had pretty big casualties, and this one has a little bit less casualties. We'll go over how many casualties each method produced at the end of this video, so stick around for that, please. So here's the idea. We're rushing our men, who started about here, all the way through these trees, and what we're going to want to do is kind of rush up this canal towards the front part of their army, kind of meeting them head on. Also, in this little lookout spot, I'll be able to put my archers, which will then get a good firing range. I brought some hobgoblin cutthroats around to the side because they are relatively fast for infantry. They're about 5 faster than the swordsmen, and hopefully either they can get around or these hobgoblin wolf riders can get around to the Hellblaster volley guns, because these things need to die. You're going to see them get quite a few kills before they go down in this battle. That first volley got them, looks like about 5 kills, which is not a lot, but as you can see, that damage is now 12, now 14. The longer they get to fire, the more they're just going to absolutely annihilate. So it looks like my hobgoblin wolf riders got to the Hellblasters. They got shot up by the Hellblasters just a little bit. So I turned these cutthroats around to deal with the swordsmen, and then everything from here is just basic principles of fighting. Get one side to be weakened, and then envelop with the rest of your army, taking matchups that are better for you. So these hobgoblin cutthroats fighting these swordsmen, not a incredible matchup. They'll be able to win, but I provided a little bit of arrow support hitting into the sides of these swordsmen for some extra damage. Then I used these hobgoblin wolf riders with spears to give even more advantage for these cutthroats, because I want these cutthroats to be able to be free of this battle, break these swordsmen really fast, and then charge into the backs of all these swordsmen, which is what my hobgoblin wolf riders with spears are doing right now. I moved these archers off to the sides because swordsmen have little things called shields, which means 35% of small arms missile fire is just blocked. So essentially 35%-ish of my damage is just not going through, which is a problem. If you hit them from the sides though, like I started to after moving them, they take a lot more damage and they die a lot faster, which is always what we love to see. That's also what we're doing with the hobgoblin wolf riders. Why we hit them from the back instead of the front a lot is because flanks are more vulnerable to attacks, especially with those units that have shields. On top of that, they'll take a leadership penalty from getting charged in the sides. It'll be called either flanks compromised. I don't know what the exact word is for it. Being charged in the back, though, essentially. You can probably see it on some of these units. Maybe? Not quite. Okay. So the rest of this battle is mostly cleanup now. From minute 5, we get that victories in our grasp little notification up there. We've broken all of the swordsman units. We've dealt with those hellblasters. They're off their guns. They're not going to be doing any damage anymore. And now we just have this general of the Empire. I figured the best way that I could deal with him is probably line up my archers and shoot him. And it kind of worked, I guess. I think army loss penalties is what actually brought him down to be broken. It looks like army loss penalties right there. Yep, army losses, and then the battle was over. So, we're going to end this replay and look at some of the things that happened here. So, I deployed 601 troops and left the battlefield with 421. Those are moderate casualties, and I definitely agree that this is a close victory. However, if you look at the other two battles from the previous video, which again I recommend that you watch, these casualties are much less and the victory result is much better, which means your units will gain more experience. Little tidbit that I might make another video about. So, our first method was rushing guns with cavalry, just getting around to the sides, hitting those artillery pieces, and knocking them out of the battle. This resulted in 212 casualties and a Pyrrhic victory. This is a close victory, by the way. Our second way is just march straight into the enemy army. Don't care about the guns, just try to brute force through the swordsmen. Once there was an opening through the swordsmen, we knocked out those guns, and that resulted in 376 casualties. So it looks like using trees saved me about 32 people. And using trees and knocking out artillery from the sides looks like it saved me quite a bit more, totaling to about what's that math? About 200 casualties saved, right? Those are really good numbers. We always like to see those. Also, if you look at our kills, we did quite a bit of damage. I'm not sure which battles caused the most casualties for them. Probably the Pyrrhic victory, but that doesn't matter because we want our forces intact. That's it for this video, guys. Please check out my videos, especially the one rushing the guns. I'm going to post a link to it, both in the description below, and you'll see a little pop-up at the end of this title screen. So please go check that out, and I hope you have a great